from World University of Design, I would like to welcome Dr. Pramod Mahajan, who's I will be reintroducing him. He's the director, Sharjah Indian School. On behalf of WD and EduTV, most welcome, sir, and we are so happy to have you at the moment. As a dean of the design school, I'm an architect myself. I would like you to throw some light on how you're gearing up your students for this vast field of architecture and design, probably designed to be more correct and sort of leaping ahead of law and medicine. So how are you preparing your students for this vast field of design at your center, which is the Sharjah Indian School, sir?
Uh, First of all, at our school, we are providing the platform to the students to think beyond. We are making them future fit with respect to technology, with respect to the new emerging global trends, with respect to the thought process, with respect to whatever happening in the world, whether they are ready for that. So that's a first thing. As far as the design is concerned, design for architecture and all comes on the second stage, but definitely we are focusing more about design thinking. So we are trying our level best to inculcate the habit of design thinking within the students. Once they are done with that design thinking, their thought process will be in a different way. And then they are thinking about architecture, they are thinking about engineering, they are thinking about so many other options, they are thinking about uh, data scientists, they are thinking about data analysis, they are thinking about designing. And ours is the first school uh, in UAE to introduce the engineering graphics from 11th standard itself as a subject. So that engineering graphics gives them the depth of designing. They are doing the 3D designing also, the object in the 3D format and all. So with that, and many of our students are already there in the at Delhi School of Architecture, and that's become a passion for them. If they think about the engineering, they always think about the architecture, always think about design, always think about civil engineering, always think about aero designing, aerospace. All those areas are open for them.
The second thought that emerges from that is that there you might be noticing there would be a larger number of students who would still be much more interested in the old fields which were existing, like the law and medicine. Now even those fields need to undergo a lot of change, because now if you see that the artificial intelligence and other robotics and things like that are very fast creeping into these old fields or old streams. Now how is your school working in the direction of making the students be abreast with this upcoming technology, or I would rather say the invasion of this technology into the education system?
Our school is a techno savvy school, and students are embracing the technology, but we are ensuring that they should not become a techno addict. They are using the machines instead of themselves becoming a machine. That is another thing. We are giving a lot of focus on IoT, that is Internet of Things, artificial intelligence, augmented reality, mixed reality, virtual reality. Ours during pandemic, when the pandemic starts, our school was the first school within 36 hours. We have organized one virtual tour to Alain Zoo. So that's become a trend of the city, that become a trend of the country, and the students started taking interest in that, and they started doing a lot of research, a lot of projects on virtual reality, augmented reality, artificial intelligence. And during that period, when they are researching and doing the projects, they become an independent learner. And the plus point is, after becoming the independent learner, they understand that what is the need and requirement of future. Now they are more depending on technology, technological aspect, data, interdisciplinary aspects of various subjects. and they themselves started thinking about it's not only the medicine, it's not only the law, it's not only the engineering. Beyond that, there are so many things. So like that, they started planning. So many of our students already doing a great job in data analysis, data collection, collecting the data. They are towards data scientist. Fluoros, in the police department also, they wanted to go that with the scientific officer and all, technical officer and all. So many people are trying with banking and insurance along with the technological aspects. So to be in the field of insurance. So that is also going on. So that way, now they are not giving that much weightage which they used to give to the medicine, to the law, to the engineering, but they are now thinking about the alternative courses which will be having lot of bright future, lot of bright aspects in coming years. Because ultimately at this era, we don't know what will be the hot jobs in the future. What jobs are there at present, they were not there before 10 years. And whether they will remain in future after 10 years, that is also a big question mark. So what we are doing, we are trying our level best to inculcate the habit of research, doing project, and thinking about those questions which are yet to be answered. We are providing them the platform to think about those technologies which are yet to be invented. There are a good number of students always started asking the question about metaverse. So it means they are on that track. And trust me, today's this Z generation learner, you cannot dominate them with your traditional aspects.
True.
Neither being a teacher or the head of the institution, nor even being a parent. They have their own choices, they have their own way, and what they want to learn, where they want to learn, when they want to learn, and with whom they want to learn, they started deciding nowadays. And this internet has given them that freedom to find out to choose the right way. Only the role of schooling is now to be monitoring that they are not committing the same mistakes again. That's all. Another thing is scaffolding them, showing them the path, and instead of asking them to go along with you, going along with them, satisfying their need and requirement, fulfilling their whatever the queries and concern they have, and keep on challenging them. If you challenge them, they do wonders. So these are the aspects now by which we are taking them ahead. Now they themselves started asking, sir, what is there if I do traditional BSc? So I asked them why, what is the meaning of traditional BSc? He said, pure sciences. So what they started thinking, we have to do something in such a manner that we should be strong theoretically and we should know the way, whatever we have learned, how to apply that thing in the unknown situation. They are focusing more on that because the information and knowledge is available on the single click. What matters is how to apply that thing in the unknown situation. And that is not only the challenge to the schooling, but it is a challenge for the higher education institutes also, for the colleges also. Because the future is uncertain. What job will be there in future, that is a question mark. And in the market, every industry coming up with their own module. They only see the spark within the child. They only see the the way of what for what the person is passionate and what depth he is having, and then they are training them. So now the question, and see, we have seen so many be in civil engineering doing fantastic job in the field of mechanical. There are many mechanical engineers who are doing good job in CAT CAM and designing bikes and designing various parts of the automobiles. So it is not that one you if you are graduate engineer in one of the particular uh, area, you will not be going to another area. That transformation is also happening. A civil engineer is working on computers and designing something. A mechanical engineer is thinking about designing the AutoCAD, designing the car, designing instead of going toward the mechanical aspects. So these things are happening. There are many mechanical engineers who are contributing the best for the structure of the uh, big buildings. So at UAE, Burj Khalifa, the biggest and the longest tower of the world, there are many mechanical engineers. They are giving their expertise to maintain that height, to maintain the stability, to maintain that thing. So structural engineer during my days used to be from civil side, but now they are from the mechanical side. Now they are from the geophysics side. Now they are from the architecture side. So that sort of mixing and that sort of going on, and that is actually required. And it's reminded me about the multitasking. So now the courses of the higher education also should be in such a manner that you will be making a student, your learner, a multitasker, not limiting to a particular area. In that process, again, I am repeating, design thinking plays a vital role to design anything and everything, anytime and every time.
True, sir, because I completely agree with you on that, because I think nowadays the role of the designer is is now encompassing various fields. Like you said, the mechanical engineers are working now on automobiles, and
Yeah.
now there's the automobile designer is probably working on automobiles that can run on the moon and the Mars also. So,
Yes,
so
yes.
that is the scope of work which has been now allotted to all these people. Now, I think as it would be important for the new students, I would call them new students,
Yeah.
to actually see that they should be able to do it. Most of the bachelors is now become a basic education. So I don't call it BArch, I call it basic architecture, or BCom as basic
Yeah.
communication, or whatever you may call it. But they require a lot of specialization in order to go
Yes.
forward, for which they have to be really curious, and they should be aware as to in which direction the world is moving in.
Yeah.
So to make them aware and to make them curious also happens to be a very important role that schooling should play in this, because we get the products which actually come from the schools. So the genetic input that a student should have should actually be first injected in the school, and then the master's program or the bachelor's program should only make it little more than it is required. Only then the student will be able to see the potential and see the direction. So I just would like you at the last to sort of highlight this on our behalf, and would love to hear you on that as well.
Yeah. Definitely. At the schooling, we have to provide them the platform, giving them the information that these different possibilities are there in future, and give them the basics of each and everything. Then when they come to the college level, they are just like a raw material for each and everything, and then you take them to the specialized aspects. But at the same time, while doing the specialization, also nowadays specialization is also not only one entity, it is also amalgamation of so many things. Like architecture engineer, they are designing the spacecraft which is going on the moon, or which is going on the no they are designing that thing. They are designing that rocket which is fuel efficient. Otherwise, people were not thinking about the fuel and all. We have to make the rocket. So now, when they are thinking about the efficiency of the fuel, they are again dealing with the metallurgy. When they are dealing with the metallurgy, again they are thinking about what will be the elasticity and what will be the ductileness and brittleness of that metal. So if you are making them only master of one thing, that will not be happening, because they have to get amalgamated. And that's the biggest challenge for the higher education. What is happening in the school level, we are giving them ifs and buts and all the bricks of different things, then collecting them on the same platform and making a structure in such a manner that the amalgamation of variety of aspects, maybe technology, maybe engineering, maybe chemicals, maybe metallurgy, maybe some sort of physics, maybe some sort of biophysics. Now, one of my student, he's working on growing the plants or growing some vegetables within the aircraft which is going on the moon or which is going on the Mars. He is an engineer. He is dealing with that, and then he has to study a lot about the agriculture, and that
Botany.
agriculture which is waterless, that agriculture which is not having the natural environment. So that engineer who is thinking about the agriculture and which is not in the natural environment, see the big challenge of the higher education. So these are the aspects, and for that, the only thing required is designing, designing of your thought process, designing of your thinking, designing of your working style, designing of your time period, and whatnot. So designing is not limited only up to one thing. Days were gone. Now see, there is one tailor. He has a tailoring shop, and then I asked you where you are sending your child after 12th. He said my child is going to UK. Okay, why? What specialization he is doing? You think he wanted to do the mastery in the digitalized, computerized uniform, computerized dress. Okay, what is that? So automatically color will change as per the need and requirement of a person who is wearing that dress. Shape and size will change as per the climate. Now think designing of a dress which will change its shape and size and nature according to the climate, color according to the occasion. Wow, what future that person will be having. But yes, as you said, that genetically inducted thing is what? Father is a tailor. So he was always busy cutting with the clothes and all. So that thought process developed another instinct or another curiosity among that child, and this artificial intelligence in this Internet of Things has given that path. Why not design that sort of clothing which will change its color, which will change its size, which will become eco-friendly, which will protect yourself from the corona or for any sort of distortion. See, that thought process is not possible without designing. Now, designing of what? That's a big question mark. Yet that question has to be answered. Designing of what? It's infinite areas. So being the
Indeed,
person from the design field or design world college or whatever university you say, you have a big challenge now. Design what? Or rather than design what not.
yeah,
So these are the
true,
things.
true. We are in a very curious and an unpredictable time at the moment,
Yes,
where
yes, yes.
the scenario is changing very fast, and it is a challenge, but it is also very interesting. And I would not shy myself away from saying that probably we are heading towards a design revolution now.
Yes, yes, yes. Design revolution
So the
rather
world
than
has
to,
seen several revolutions, but
yeah,
we
yeah,
still
rather than
are
to design the
for
revolution
long.
as per our need and
Yes.
requirement.
Yes.
Yeah.
So thank you, Dr. Pramod Mahajan.